Hi everybody. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I have shadows. Sorry. Look at my shadows. You can see my hand shadows. So I'm messing around with my lighting and stuff. If it drives you crazy, let me know because I am curious about whether maybe I just need to turn things around. Anyway, today I'm playing with Freshly Baked. In this current Christmas October to December catalog, the first paper pack is Freshly Baked, and it's awesome. Look at the papers in it. There's some really cute little prints. I've been using mine like crazy, and as a matter of fact, I used up almost all of my sticker sheet. Look what I have left of it. And then I realized, oh, what I was going to show you today, I needed the stickers for. So I'm going to do it without the stickers. The prints are this really cool, like all over baking cookie print. And then on the back is cookies and milk. And then there's this all over polka dot, which is quickly becoming my favorite. This is one that I've been using on everything. And the back of that is a grid that's printed in like the Seabrook color. It might be Glacier. Seabrook and Glacier are very close to each other. And boy, I'm not sure which one that is, to be honest. Anyway, and then of course there's cardstock coordinating with that. It's just a really cool thing. I'm also going to show you the, I'll show you the PML cards and stuff here in a minute. So part of this whole kit, oh yeah, here's the one I don't have to show you at this exact moment, is the stripes and the red page, and that's because we're going to use it on a project today, so I have it in my pile. These little blingy dots and hearts are really cool, and they're a little different. You know, when it, gosh, those are like come apart. These are so neat because they're super flat. They're not thick at all. So you could easily put these on a card or something and put it in the mail and not ever have to worry about it sticking up too far. And I've shown these a million times, but I love that the blue has this like glitter in it. It's so neat. So I love that. And then I have the PML cards, which I want to show you on a project in a little bit. So cool. Other parts of this collection, like if I was going to buy this collection and I just wanted to put together some scrapbook pages, I would buy the paper and stickers, and I would probably buy the dots. And if you don't love the sticker sheets and you want to use it for something else, it is kind of nice to have the cardstock to coordinate with that. There's a couple of stamp sets that coordinate with it, and I'm going to use those a little bit today. One is this recipe set. One is this cookie baking set, and it comes with this really cool cooling rack thin cut, which I love. And then this is the workshop, which I have not done, actually. I didn't buy it because I liked the paper so much. And I thought, well, I want to kind of do my own thing. But the more I see, some of the consultants have just started showing things like their finished layouts. And I'm like, oh, this is a really pretty cool thing. And then the card making workshop, I definitely bought. As a matter of fact, I bought 2. And so if you're somebody who is thinking about buying this, please notify me first, because I may give you a nice discount on the second one that I bought, because I don't need 2 of them. I don't know why I bought 2, but it's not that I loved the cards that it made so much, but I love the little cookie thin cuts and the little chocolate chips and the little bottle of milk. I've been playing with that like crazy. So I'm going to show you that. And real quick, I just want to point out the mix-in pack. I know I showed you this when we walked through the catalog, but the cool thing about the mix-in pack is that it really does go with this cookie baking set. So all of these papers coordinate, and if the fronts don't get you, then the backs might. They're just really, really neat. And I love, this is one of the best. The last two catalogs, the mix-in packs, have been my favorites. And I have tons of extras of these because it really goes with all the Christmas papers. It goes with the fall papers. I'm like, this is amazing, this mix-in. Okay, let me set this aside here. I got a little pile going. So today, there's a few things I want to show you. One is, I just want to show you some finished artwork, and then I thought we would make something together. So, first I'm going to show you this cute little card. It is done using the grid, which is the thin cut from that coordinating set. It's got several of the little blingy dots, and this and this and this and this, all stickers. This is just mostly stickers, which is really cool. So love that very much. Imagine this on a scrapbook page, just as, you know, as part of your decorations. It would be great. Here's another one that we did in our launch event. This is a sticker, and these are stickers, and basically we just used a wash of watercolor in the background, and we drew a grid using paint, so just to make a background on there. Really simple and lots of dots, and using the cookies and milk paper. I thought that was really cute too. I just wanted to show you that. And then, okay, I feel like I showed you, or if I didn't show you these layouts, I sneak peeked them to you at some point. This is the back of that red paper. It's a big giant, you know, like each of these is 1 1/4-ish inches stripe. And then the front is the red. So this is the first one where we used the grid and we used the cookie stickers. Here's more stickers. This one is one of the stamps in one of the coordinating sets, and these are all zip strips and stickers down at the bottom. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm looking to see if you can see the bottom okay. Okay, and then the coordinating page, this little squiggle is also a part of a coordinating stamp set. I love this. This is Baker's Gonna Bake. You Bake Me Happy. And it has like made our own little journaling card on there, which I thought was really cute. I love the little row of stickers at the bottom. I think that's really cute. So that page is really neat. And then the next page is done basically using 2-inch squares of all the different papers, and kind of put together in sort of a grid with a main photo. And of course you could put more photos on here and just cover up your papers, and then a few stickers here and there. This page was done, this again was a watercolor paint wash on top of the toffee paper. And then the word baking is actually part of the sticker sheet, and memories as part of the sticker sheet. So that was kind of an interesting way of doing that. see if I can show you a little better without glare, but that pink wash in the background is watercolor ink. You wouldn't guess that just by looking. It looks really cool on there. It really highlights that word. And then lots of stickers. And they, you know, continued on with our 2-inch squares on this side, so it all kind of coordinates together. And then the third page I want to show you is this one. It says One Cute Cookie, and used the cookie theme paper, the baking paper, and then here's this one that says Yummy and Yummy Frosting, and then there's a little spatula with frosting on it, and the cookies and milk, Cookie Cutie. So a lot of people who are using this One Cute Cookie and stuff are using it for like their grandkid pictures or baby pictures, or, you know, like people, that little pictures that are cute. It doesn't have to be a baking thing. So that is a cool thing. All right, so I wanted to show you those pages because, oh my gosh, they're so neat. All right, hold on, I gotta add to my pile so it doesn't fall off. I have like a chair behind me that I'm piling things up on. So today I wanna make a layout using this cookie stuff, and I just want to show you what the one I want to make today. So I know that this isn't very original, but this layout right here, you know how I send VIP, I've been sending my VIPs a project, a little card or a layout or something every other month on our off Hostess Club months. And I mailed those out today, so you should be getting them within the next few days. Next Wednesday, we'll be putting together the VIP layout, or card. It's a card. I was going to send this, and I started cutting, you know, thinking it through, and I realized it's almost all stickers, so you would need the sticker sheet. I could easily do the stamping for you, but the stickers, there's a lot of stickers on here. And so I'm just going to show today how to put this layout together so that if you have extra pages or you want to put it together, you can. So I'm going to just kind of fold this over a minute here. That way we will have it, I'll keep referring back to it so that you can see it and know what I'm doing. And basically, it starts with a background, and you could use white or French vanilla as your background. I believe they used French vanilla. French vanilla is a very pale off-white, and I'm going to use white daisy. I don't think it matters enough, I don't know, to like stew over it or whatever. So obviously this is a 12 by 12 page. So I'm going to start with a 12 by 12 of white. Okay, that's going to be our base page. And then we have two pieces. There's a real fine line around the edge of blue, which is in the color schemes. It says Glacier or Seabrook, and I'm going with Seabrook. Glacier is just a little darker blue. You could do either one. If you've got a stash of cardstock, I would just use what you've got. But I love the paleness of Seabrook, and I like how it coordinates with the papers, so I'm going to use Seabrook. And then, of course, the red is the print from this collection. So I pulled out a piece of Seabrook, and there's the back side is really pale, and the front is a little more, I would say, minty color. So I'm going to use the bolder side of that. You can kind of see, like, if you lay it down, you can kind of see what it looks like using, you know, you can kind of play with it and see what you like the most. Like, do you like that side showing, or do you like the actual color showing? And I like the actual darker color. Hi everybody. Hi Heather. Thanks for joining today. It always feels weird when there's nobody on here. I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's a very weird feeling. So the first thing I want to do is I want to cut these paper. I'm going to set the white aside for a moment, and I'm going to cut these down. So when you're analyzing a layout on here, look and see. It looks like there's about a 1 inch on each side of the red, right? So that means, since this is a 12-inch piece of paper, subtract 1, we're down to 10 inches. So we need a 10-inch square of the red. So I'm gonna get out my handy dandy cutter here, and we're just going to cut this at the 10-inch mark. Sorry, gotta lay it flat on the table so it'll cut. There's 10, and turn and trim again. Okay, so these are scraps I'm gonna set aside. So now I have that 10-inch piece, and all I need to do is cut the Seabrook around the edge. Now, it depends on how much you want to show. In the picture, it's a little hard to know if they did a 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch, but it looks to me like a 1/4 inch around the edge in blue. So that means since I cut my red at 10, I'm going to cut an additional 1/4 and 1/4, an additional 1/2. So I'm going to cut this at 10 and 1/2. Okay. If I wanted less, I could cut it less. But you can always cut more off, but you can't put more on easily. All right, so I have some scrap. Now, I have my layers. Now I could leave it just like that. See how that looks. I feel like that is a lot showing. I think I want less, like maybe 1/8 of an inch showing instead. So I'm gonna cut off another 1/4 inch on 2 sides. I think it's a little, I don't know. I want less showing. All right. So by doing that, I put this on. I like how that looks. And then I have my 10-inch piece. Oh yeah, I like that much better. I like how that looks. I like how it just barely peeks out around the sides. Now, you could do that, and that's fine. There's not a problem. But I feel like I'm wasting this piece. It's just going to be sandwiched between here. And so I'm going to gut this piece. Now, I don't need very much of it to show, so I can put this, if you want to make a 1-inch frame, you can make a 1-inch frame, you could make a 1/2 inch frame. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to put it in your trimmer. I like to use this. Here's my cutting mark, and you know how your trimmer, this trimmer has marks on the right side in addition to the left. I just push this over to, let's say, the 3/4 inch mark, and then I do 3/4 inches on this grid, and I just go up like that, and I make a cut so that I'm going to make a border, and then I'm just going to turn it, and I'm going to do the exact same thing from the 3/4 inch down to 3/4, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm putting it at the 3/4 inch mark, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put this, I'm putting this paper at this 3/4 inch mark, and then on this scale, 3/4 down to 3/4. So what I end up with is this piece right here. Make sure I got it all cut. I end up with this frame. And so what's cool about this is that now I have the same look. It's the exact same look. You cannot tell that I did anything different, but I still have all of this to use as whatever project I want. So I would like to use this as, I think I'd like to use this as photo mats. And it is about, it's 8 3/4 inches. I could make it exactly, I'll cut this at 4 1/4. And I'll cut this one at 4 1/4. I'm making photo mats, and that way I have them ready to roll. And these little strips I'm just throwing in a pile because I'll use them. Now I could cut this down to 4 1/4, and I could have I could have enough, you know, I could have 4 squares, or I could cut this at 6 1/4 and have, you know, 2 photos. So I'm just gonna kind of keep those together, and I'm gonna set those aside for a moment. Let's move on to our page. I'm gonna put my trimmer aside, and I'm ready to put these together. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do now, I'm not always fabulous at centering everything just right. And so I don't necessarily, I could get out my Versamat, I could get out my ruler, and I could measure everything. But what I'm going to do instead, I've got the dark side up, I am just going to put a row of adhesive around my frame. And I am going to start, this will help me. I am going to start by putting my red piece on. Okay, so I am going to center this, make this nice and even on all 4 sides as much as I can, and then I'm going to push down on that adhesive, and then that makes that frame and that red piece one larger size. This is much easier for me to eyeball, because I like to eyeball, than it is to, you know, do the frame separately. So now I'm just going to adhere this page. I don't know how much adhesive you use, but I always like my edges done. And then I don't like the center that's holding all of the weight of my page to be loose on the page. So I'm using a crisscross of adhesive. And then basically I'm just eyeballing this approximately 1 inch from the sides. Okay? And lay that down. So now we have our base of our layout done, except it's a little hard to see, but there's a little black line all the way around. They used like a journaling pen and a ruler to do that. Let me grab my ruler. And so you could, what's nice about using one of these rulers is that there's grid lines on it, and you can hold the grid line up to the paper to make it straight. So if I put it at the second grid line, for example, you know, like that, my line is going to be exactly straight with my paper. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just going to draw a line around. Now, sometimes, and you've seen me do that a million times, I will do like a squiggle line and, you know, intentionally make it crooked or whatever. I'm totally into that. I love that look, but they made theirs nice and straight, so we're gonna do ours just like that. And I'm just gonna go around with a black marker. I'm almost done. Last one. Okay. Okay. I have my black line. I put my pen away and set my ruler aside. Okay, so that is our base. Now, the next thing that we need are circles, right? Because that's basically the gist of the page is circles. So what I did is I went ahead and cut out with my paper punch a whole bunch of 2-inch circles. Now, if you don't have a paper punch, you can use any die. I just thought, you know, paper punches in small shapes are so amazing. And then I went ahead and I put some foam tape on a few, because if you look at the layout in the catalog, this is on page 4, you know, some of them are flat on the page and then some of them look on top. And so I just thought, I'll just make a few of them pop up. I don't think you'd have to. They look really cool just the way they are. I don't think you'd have to do it exactly like they did. But I'm going to go ahead and use liquid glue just for speed. And I'm going to start at, like, if you look at this as a clock, like this is 12, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to start at about 12 o'clock. I like to kind of look at the picture and see what is on the bottom. And this little blue one is flat and it's covered by a pink and it's covered by a brown. So it's a good one to start with. And when you put it on there, if you're like me, when I have these little geometric grid pieces like this, I have a tendency to want to make them straight and perfect, but it's better to make them a little offset on purpose, just so it's not quite so exact, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to move around. Now the pink is obviously elevated on top of this piece. So we'll just move around the page counterclockwise, right? And so I cut a little piece of that fun baking paper and I'm going to put it flat. It looks flat and it is at about 11 o'clock, kind of near the corner like that. And then the pink is on top of this one and this one. So I went ahead and did a little foam tape on that one. And we'll just put that right on the top. Okay. Now moving on the page, it looks like the yellow. If you get your catalog out, you can kind of see the yellow piece is on top of the dots, like every other piece is on top. So what we're going to end up doing around the page is kind of filling in the flat ones first and then doing the top ones. So I have the dots, which is at 9 o'clock. And if you're copying a layout like this, like I pay attention to how much space there is right there between the edge of the paper, and I try to make it about the same, and that way I feel like my circle is going to end up being approximately right. It doesn't have to be exact or whatever, but it is hard to ignore how cool the the artwork looks in the catalogs. The next piece is another baking piece, And then there's, this one's flat, and then there's a brown toffee color on top of it. So basically what they did, this one is at about 7 o'clock, it looks like. They basically just used all of the different patterns, fronts and backs, and you can kind of, what I did was I just counted how many pinks did I need, how many browns did I need, and I just paper punched them. So there's the brown, ta-da. Next, there's a cookie on the top and a flat pink. Now the pink is the other thing that you can pick, whether you want the bolder side or the softer side, and I chose the softer side to show. I'm not a huge pink fan. This one's at, yeah, this one's at 7. And then the cookies and milk are on top. So foam tape. So what's everybody doing today? Are you guys crafting like crazy? I was making, I've been making fall stuff like crazy. And as a matter of fact, I've been putting pictures on the layouts that I made from the class last week. I'm really loving how those are turning out, by the way. I hope that you guys have had a chance to do your class. Okay, so here's one that's at like 5 o'clock, and then at 6 or 6:30 is the grid. So this yellow is called Honey Butter, and if you ever watch any Close to My Heart events, you're going to hear them say honey butter like 1,000 times. They love it. Now this one I decided not to put on foam tape. I decided just to lay it on top because there's a lot of decoration down here. And then we start to get into this area right here where there's a photo, and the photo is going to lay flat. I don't want a bunch of bumps underneath of it. So a lot of these, even though they're on top of others, I still laid them flat. So there's a grid. And then, so we have the yellow, and then there's a pink on top of that. And that pink is just gonna poke out of our photo area. So I'm just gonna put that there. And what is under here isn't even really gonna show much. It's just barely gonna pop out, but I still need something there. If you look at the picture, there is just a hint of this baking one showing on that. And then there's another pink down here. So it looks like the pink is on top of the cookies and milk. So I'm going to glue the cookies and milk here. I got a little close to the edge compared to their circle. Oh, Heather, I meant to mention, I got your cards in the mail yesterday. Thank you. I'll send those on to JJ. They're beautiful. Thank you so much for sending those. That is really nice. And they're perfect. They're perfect. Okay, so the next, here we are now at about 2 o'clock on the clock, and we have a grid and a yellow, and the yellow is on top. So I'm going to put the grid down first. It is like here. And then the yellow is on top. You could do this any way you wanted to. If you want the patterns to show more than the solids, do it that way. I noticed they did a lot of their solids kind of on top. Okay, and then we have the cookies here. That's flat, kind of right here. And then we have 2 left. We have the toffee and we have the polka dots. And the polka dot, I went ahead and put some foam tape on. I did this ahead of time because it takes me so long to put foam tape on. It looks like such a quick, fast thing, but I'm slow. And it goes here, and then the toffee goes here. Ta-da. So we now have an approximate circle that matches the layout here. Okay. Now there's a bunch of stickers on here. Sticker, 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 stickers. This is a stamp. Sticker, sticker, stamp, sticker, 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 and that's a stamp. So there's like 3 stamps. This Baking Memories is off the sticker sheet. But there's also these cute little corners. See these little cute corners? I went ahead and I cut some of those. And it looks, I just made these like 1 1/4 inch. I wanted them to show, I think they used a 1 inch square and then cut it in half diagonally to do that. But I wanted mine to show a little more, so I made them 1 1/4. And you can use, you know, the dark side or the light, and I'm going to use the light on that. So I'm just going to put those 1 in each corner. One of the things that JJ asks, because she literally goes to hundreds of, she goes to quite a few places, so there's hundreds of residents that live at these senior centers, and some of them are like living there and some are acute care, so they're there for, you know, rehab or whatever. But she asks that we put like a little note inside of the cards that we send, like a, you know, you can do this, keep it up, hope you have a great day, whatever. And so one of the things that a lot of people are starting to do is make a printed piece that has a message on it, and then just tuck it in the card so that the resident can use the card again then to give to someone else. And I thought that was really nice. Let's see. Okay, so here's the problem. I ordered another paper pack and sticker sheet because I have so many things I want to do. This sticker sheet is gone. The only thing left is Living the Sweet Life. I have a little grid here. I have a little gingerbread here, and I have several dots. But what you can see is these stripes are what made up the edges right here. And she just cut zips. They just cut like the sticker sheet down into corners. And I was like, well, I'm obviously not going to be able to decorate this. It did not come today. As I looked at my my delivery, and it's supposed to be tomorrow morning. So I'm like, of course it is supposed to be tomorrow morning. So whatever. So I went ahead and I grabbed a photo mat. Now they used, it looks to me like this is a 3x4 because they have 2 big things here, and I think they used like a 3x4 photo. I tend to take larger photos, so I would use a bigger one, and I would just cover more up, and I would adapt it a little bit to what I need. But I love the Baking Memories title. I love that whole idea, and I would totally deck this out then from here, and I will when I get my sticker sheet. But and there's also a bunch of little dots, these little dots scattered all over. Cool, right? Cool. But I rarely, if ever, just rarely do a single page by itself. And so I wanted to make a companion page to this, like a second page. And so let me set this aside. And I thought, let's just mess around with what I do have. I have, I want it to look the same in regards to the page itself. I want it to have that same matted look. So I'm going to cut this down again. I'm going to cut, let me put the thing on this side. And then I'm going to show you some of my cool stamp sets using these. So this, I'm cutting down to 10 inches, just like I did before. And I could use the stripes. That's kind of a cool idea. I only planned part of this page. Some of it I just sort of thought, I'll figure something out. So, all right. So there's a 10. And then remember, I initially made this 10.5. So there would be 1/4 of an inch on each side. But I am going to cut this to 10.25. So we have an 1/8 showing on each side. 10.25. Put that in my scraps. And then I am going to gut this again. I know you guys are like, oh gosh. So basically I'm putting this at the 3/4 inch mark. And I'm going to go 3/4 up, push down, and go to 3/4 in. And I'm just going to rotate, rotate, rotate. You guys are like, okay, we've seen this, so hurry up. There's 1, there's 2. And by doing that, honestly, it really does give me a little extra paper to mess with. You know, if I need extra to make things. And I'm going to do this the same way as I did before, where I'm going to make that red and this seabrook border the same. Somewhere I cut it crooked. It looks crooked to me. Oh well, we'll find out. It'll probably be right at the top. That's usually what I do. If I'm going to cut something really crooked, it's going to be like in an obvious place. All right, and then go ahead and adhere this onto my paper. I'm gonna eyeball this approximately 1 inch. I really like how the 2 pages are gonna match, and I'm gonna real quick do the lines. I'm usually pretty quick at doing scrapbook pages. When I draw lines, I don't go side to side. I don't go from one side to another side, because my lines, even if I'm using a ruler, tend to be crooked. So I go up and down, and it doesn't really matter if I go from the bottom to the top or the top to the bottom, but I just make better lines if I do it this way. And you'll notice I'm even making it diagonal a little bit. That's how I know my lines will be straight. Even using a ruler, I manage to screw those up sometimes. Okay, so make sure it's right side up with all the words going the right way. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? I like the idea of you just figuring out photo mats. So what I did was I have this set. This is the recipe set. And I thought, oh, recipe card would be a cool idea. I could make a recipe card, you know, and use the tabs. See the cute little tabs? And go ahead and write my favorite recipe on here, because that would be a really neat thing to have. I do a lot of Christmas cookies. And then I thought, oh, wouldn't it be neat to have these as photo mats instead? I like the little, there's like a little thin cut style border on the edge of this recipe card. And I really like the idea of using those. Cute. And then I cut the tabs out of the coordinating pink. And so they have like a score line in them. So I could put those on each one. Probably here and here. I really like how that looks. I'm just going to lay out this page. That's what I tend to do when I'm scrapbooking like this, where I'm just trying to put things together that I think will look nice. I have leftover, I have zip strips, and I have a paper strip. So the zip strips of this paper pack are these three. There's a stripey thing with all the different colors. There is a honey butter dot. And then there's these cute little words that you can cut apart and use on your layout. And why not, right? So I may use those as some kind of accessory when I get my sticker sheet. Okay, so I'll set those aside that way. I love the idea of having a stripe on the side. Since there's so much color on, let me just pull this in. Since there's so much color on the left page, I feel like this page needs some of that pattern. I don't want to get all carried away though. But I do like this neat stripe here. And I really do like this yellow, but it's too big. I don't want that much yellow. So I want to show you a trick to cutting these strips in half. Now, I'm lazy, okay, and I will lay them if you lay them right in the center so that they're 1/4 inch on that side of the cutting and 1/4 inch on that side of the cutting, so right at the center, you can line it up and push down hard and cut. But if you have the kind of trimmer that makes that a little tough to do, you can use like one of the Close to My Heart adhesives or something, and you can just put a couple of dots of adhesive onto your trimmer and then lay this down just like that. And it's kind of, now it's on there. I don't have to hold it so tight and make the cut. So if I want to do that, and then these dots just roll right off. They're just off of my trimmer. So that's how I cut those into smaller pieces. And I just want a real thin stripe on there. I like how that looks. Let's see, what else do I want? So the other thing that is really fun, okay, I say fun, even though I almost make fun of the Close to My Heart people when they do their, from corporate, when they do their presentations, because one of them says fun every other word, but these PML cards really are. I've been playing with these a little bit. My sister says, oh snap, all the time. If I had some great pictures of her, can you imagine if I just tucked this into the side? That would be so cute. So this is a possibility, right? I love the idea of making some kind of collage. Here is a little recipe card, and on the back it's yellow, so you could do it up and down, or you could do it sideways. That's a possibility. The other side of O Snap is pretty red, so it wouldn't show up as well. I like it up and down. I like it vertically better, but it's the wrong color, so I would have to do it this way. Although I do like that. I really love the PML cards. You could do a little like journaling card. This making a list. Look at the love at first bite. Isn't that cute? Cute. Too much yellow for me, but I love it. Look at the sprinkles. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. That'd be a really cool birthday card, I think. Stripey thing, I love it. This is this one says Merry Christmas. This is more of the baking pattern in a couple of colors. This is an all over pattern. Look at this. We go together like milk and cookies. That's adorable. And there's one that's blue, and then there's one that's the tan. So see, that would be really cute too. Aww. Oh my gosh, I love it. I still like the O Snap best. And then the larger size, there's frosting. Like you could use those as photo mats or journaling cards. Happiness is a warm cookie. And a lot of journaling cards. Now, there is, you know, last year when we made Christmas cards using PML cards, you know, we cut apart some of these cookie baking crew. Do you love that? That's adorable. So I would cut these down to make them the way that I like. You know what I mean? So look at that one. It looks like a recipe card, but it has journaling. Oh my gosh. Holiday calories don't count. Oh my gosh, that's great. I could do that one. Let me see. That's really cute. I might do that on another page because this one I really am going to do some baking pictures. And look at that. That would be great I might use that as an offset. Oh, look at that. I like a double mat kind of. Boy, love that. Ooh. Yeah, I'm liking some of these, you guys. I don't know. I think I might use that. This would be a really neat background to a card. I might make some cards out of some of these. Oh, see, like I could cut that out. I could just trim around it and then, boy, I like the holiday calories don't count thing too. Wow. So many options. Love these so much. And if there's one, let's say you're never going to use this, never. This is not your style at all. Use it like, put your photo on top of it. Because the only thing that'll show is the blue around the edge. And you won't really notice. And keep in mind, we also have the blue from the, you know, paper that we cut before. So we could do something with photo mats there. Okay, the other thing I'm going to show you is I have you guys are like, ugh. I have a couple of stamp sets and I've been playing. So let's look at this one first. This one is really cute. It is called Freshly Baked. It's the scrapbooking set. And you saw that big lick the bowl, you saw that giant Life is Short, Lick the Bowl one on that other page. So you can see it's not small. See, that is a giant sized, what is that? 3.5 inch title, 3.5 by 2. That's pretty good size. And then all the different cookies, one cute cookie, and then the little icing bag. And look at that little icing that I love that little frosting border. As a matter of fact, I might take that frosting border and go ahead and stamp it across the top and the bottom of both of these pages because I love it so much. Now the star of this is you can cut these out in any color you want. So you can make your cookies brown, you can make your cookies white and color them in. But this grid, this cooling rack, is so much fun to play with. So at first I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna hate this thin cut because look at all those little squares that pop out of it. It looks like confetti when you cut that. And it takes a little work on some cutting machines. Let me move my page out of the way just for a sec so I can show you all the stuff I made. So let's start with the cooling racks. I cut them out of different things. So I cut them out of, you know, white cardstock because when you're putting them onto a page, sometimes you just need a little something poking out, and having it white against that red background looks really cool. It stands out, right? And then you can shade it with ink. Like, that's why I cut so many, is because I can take a little dauber or a sponge, and I can edge that into any color. I could put a shimmer brush over it and make it any color. And then I thought, well, what if I made some of them gray or a light silver color? So this one is charcoal gray. So you can see it was really dark, and I messed around. This one, no problem, came right out. This one, for some reason, I couldn't get all the squares out, and I didn't want to run it through and run it through and run it through. So this one would be one that would peek. I would cut it and I would use it to peek out from behind. I don't know why that one didn't work. All the others, no problem, none. This one, I had some leftover silver foil paper, cardstock, and I cut it out of silver foil. Oh, I love how shiny that looks. And so I'm gonna put a little thing right there. I think that's really cute. Okay, now the other thing, my upline took a piece of the adhesive sheet. You know how it's like a sticker? It's like you peel the back off and it's sticky, and then she put aluminum foil onto that, and then she ran it through her machine, and then the other side peeled off, and it was like a big sticker. Because if you glue this down, you know, you got to use like liquid adhesive and, you know, spots, or you have to use a tape runner and have some of the adhesive in the holes. I mean, you know, it's a little tricky. So that adhesive sheet is amazing for the cooling rack. Now you can see I made cookies, and I made lots of cookies. And so what I did with these is I did them in toffee or craft, and then these are craft, and then I did white embossing on them so they look like little gingerbread cookies decorated with white frosting. And we know from that one layout we saw that watercolor will show up on these really nicely. So that's an option. I could do gingerbread cookies. The other thing I did was I experimented a little in stamping them in different colors so that they are just, you know, images that look frosted. And then I did a few where I stamped them in black, and I used my inks to watercolor them like this, just messing around a little bit. And so what am I going to do on my page? I like the idea of having the frosting tip, and I think he's cute. I think I am going to do the ones that look like gingerbread. And I think I might cut his arm off or something, that little guy, so that, you know, oh snap, works. Ha, I think that's cute. All right, so I have lots of cookies that I've been playing with, obviously. Let me scoop those into my envelope again. I like to have a lot of stuff when I'm making. I don't like to stop and die cut and stop and die cut. I like to have a whole bunch of things ready to roll so that I can just grab from piles. Now here's the other thing I've been playing with. This is that card making workshop, and oh my gosh. To me this looks like, I know this is weird, but this looks like a tire swing to me. Like if you were gonna do a summer thing, this looks like a tire, this looks like a rope. To me, that looks like a tire swing. I don't know why, but it's actually a plate and all these cute little cookies. I love the messages. Chip, chip, hooray. Sorry you're feeling crummy. Have a sweet holiday season. And then the milk bottle. And so let me pull in what I've been messing around with those. These are fun. So what I did was, I was like, you know, I only make one batch of like chocolate chip and they never last because everybody eats all the chocolate chip cookies right away. I make a lot of different kinds. So I cut out a whole bunch of different colors. Sorry, I'm sorting here. So I cut out a whole bunch of different colors of cookies. I cut out white, I cut out shortbread. Some of them I just kept the way they were. Some of them I stamped them with little chocolate chips. And then some of them I inked up with toffee, which is a little darker, because I like to make chocolate chip like that. And some of them have bites out of them, which is really cute. And then my daughter's a sugar cookie freak, so I made some of them look like sugar cookies. So you can see I used a white gel pen and I just tapped like crazy on the top, and I know on camera you cannot tell that well that there are little pieces of sugar on there, but oh my gosh, in real life you can totally see that looks like a sugar cookie. And then I got out the gel pens, the red and the green, and I did sprinkle cookies. Aren't those cute? So I did red and green sanding sugar, you know. So I just did the same thing. I just took the cookies and dotted it in red, and then I took the green and I dotted it in green. And you could leave it there, or you can add some white also. And then you have those. And then one of these, where is it at? One of these I made into, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to show some light on it. I think that's adorable. And one of these I made into like an oatmeal raisin. Oh, there it is. So I just used a more of a maroony color of gel pen, and I made little dots so that it would look a little lumpier. It just looks a little different than the others, and it's a little hard to tell on a camera. Okay, oh there, that one you can see the difference better. And so I tapped it with a gold gel pen. That's why it looks a little, it might look a little sparkly, but it made it look more dimensional. And then I used the like maroon thing. So I have all these cookies, and then I was messing around with the milk jugs, and I cut these all out in French vanilla, and then I did white embossing on them, hopefully making that look like milk. I don't know if I succeeded in that, but they all look super cute. I had a lot of fun making milk cartons like that. And sometimes, you know, to make them look a little more like an actual milk jug, let me grab, I don't have my holder, but you know, I might tap this and see if I have any blue ink on there. You could go around the edges. I have a little bit, and a little blue, and what that does is it makes the milk jug look a little more dimensional around the edge, so it looks, you know, like it's rounded. Okay, so on my page I could put a few other cookies. You know, I could do my cookies and milk down here and put a few. I love the sprinkle cookies. They're like amazing looking. Isn't that cool? Love it, love it, love it. So I'm gonna definitely do that. Now the other thing is we have all these messages, so I can just, you know, use one of those. And then when I really do need to get my sticker sheet here to totally finish the page off, because there are some really cool things on that sticker sheet. And all right, I'm putting my cookies in here, making a big mess, just so I don't lose them. Stamping the straws is kind of interesting. The die cut cuts out the straw, and then you have to use that little bitty stamp right there and line it up. And so I'm not really sure if that one would be easier to cut after. It might be easier to cut after. I didn't try it. But there you go. So there's all my parts and pieces. I have lots of ideas to make this page work. And when it's all done, I'll put a picture on here, because I really love how this is turning out. And I think these go together side by side. They could go separate if you don't need them side by side, but these are gonna be amazing. I haven't decided about that. I may do something else here, but okay, that is what I have. And oh, the other thing I just wanted to tell you is that you could use your liquid pearls on your cookies to give them a little more dimension. So if you have liquid pearls or Nouveau drops, or even stickles with the shimmer is a little weird, but you can totally add that to your cookies and make them kind of look cool. I think I'm gonna, next week is the VIP project, and the week after that I think I may do something for Halloween. Haven't decided yet. But I definitely want to use I got my pumpkin pie, I got my turkey set and the pie set, and I definitely want to show you that, because I've been playing with that and I'm in love. But I'm not quite ready to go full on Christmas yet. I really want to use some of my fall things and Halloween things. I still need to make some things for my trick-or-treaters, so. All right. Okay. That is it. Oh my gosh. Well over an hour. I just never shut up. All right. I will see you next week. Watch for my extra posts. My goal is to try to up my Instagram and some of my posts in between my Wednesdays. It just depends on how much I get done in the week. So thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your cards, Heather.